Hi everybody, I'm just going to quickly go over how I designed that card that I shared on Facebook last night. Well, not the card, but the picture, the screenshot that I showed of how I design a card in the Cameo. Basically, every card I make, I normally design it on the studio first. I might not use the Cameo to cut things out, I might use dies instead. I think dies give a nicer, I do love my Cameo, but I do think that dies give a nicer edge, and sort of like you don't get that embossing that you get with dies. So where possible, I do use my dies over the Cameo, but obviously I do use it a lot. I use it mainly for card blanks. If I'm using a shaped card blanks, I've not got that many big dies at the moment. I'm just building my collection back up. So I'm going to do basically the same one that I did last night. Might be just slightly different. I don't know. Can't. Everyone's different. So just open your shapes up. I'm using version 3 of the studio. So just go ahead, pick a shape. Let's do this one. Obviously resize it down so that you can see what you're doing. Some of them come on really big. Split them up. Okay, so we've got these shapes here. I'm going to use this one, I think. Okay, so normally my cards are about 6 by 6 inches now, so I just resize it so that it's just below that so that it fits in a 6-inch box, around about the 5.8 mark, something like that. Okay, before I make the card blank, I'm going to go ahead and do my first sort of mat and layer. So while you've got that highlighted, go on the offset window, do an internal offset. I always do them at 0.075 inch and apply. Now, just so that I can grab it easy, I'm going to colour that in grey. And this is going to be the card blank, so it's going to be white. So we're just going to move that away for a minute. Okay, so to make the card blank, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go into the replicate window and mirror above. Now, without moving it with my mouse, I'm just going to press the down button 3 or 4 times. That'll just overlap them. Then grab and highlight both and weld them together. I'm just going to turn them so they fit on the mat 90 degrees. Now that might just fit. If it doesn't just fit, I'm going to grab it, but also grab that one behind so that they all go in proportion, and just bring it in a little bit so that it just fits on your mat. Okay, now what you do is once you've cut that out, you'll score down there, score down that middle, fold it over, and that's your card blank. Okay, now the first one that I would put on there is a blank colour. Then I'd always put a blank colour and then my patterned paper. So we need to do another insert, internal offset 0.075 again, and apply, and this time we're going to fill it in with the paper. So if you go into your fill, I've already loaded all my patterns in. Got clay tail patterns. What else have we got in here? Got lots of clay tail. Graphic, I love graphics. I'm going to use graphic pink textures. So you can see you can put all your Michelle R designs, you can put all your papers in. In fact, let's use one of Michelle R's. Sophie Rose, we'll use that one. Okay, so let's say we're going to go for this one. Now, when I'm doing a card, I always like to either matte and layer it with white or a darker version of whatever this colour is. Now, to get that, I'll have a look through my card stock. If I've got a card stock that will match that, then I'll just use that. It'll save a lot of time. I don't always, because I don't have a lot of colour card anymore. So what I'll do is just zoom right in on this and find the darkest, and then just draw yourself a little box, highlight it, go into your colour fill, grab your dropper, and just get the darkest point that you can of this paper and then click on this button here, and this will take you back to your normal screen. Now colour that in that colour. Leave that box there because you'll need it later, and then you'll see when you matte and layer it. Now obviously you're going to print that out, but you're only going to see a little bit of it around the edge, so why waste all that ink? So what I then do is do another internal offset. This is a lot of faffing about, so if you have got the coloured card to match, use coloured card, it's a lot easier. Now this one I use 0.125 of an inch and apply it. Colour that in white and set it, click on your cut settings and set it to no cut. Highlight both of them and group it together. Now what that is going to do is when you print and cut that out, it's only going to print that, so it's going to save you a lot of ink rather than colouring it all in. Okay, and then once you've cut them out, you matte and layer that on top of that, and nobody's going to know that it's white underneath. And that's how I get me sort of like matte and layering shapes. Send this to the back. I need to rotate it again. So that's going to look like that. And then basically just grab a shape. I think the one that I did last night is something like this. Like I said, I don't measure anything. I do, if you hold the shift button while you're drawing a square, it will draw an equal square rather than, if you let go of the shift, you can do it any shape, but if you hold the shift down, it will only draw a perfect square. If you do that, oops, that didn't work, Stace. Let's delete that. Let's do another square and highlight it. Go into your colour fill again. Now your colour's gone out, so you need to get your dropper and go back into that square again. And that's going to give you your square. And then your internal offset again. Again, I'm not going to do it now because it's going to take up too much time, but again, you would go in, do another offset, colour it white, set it to no cut, join it, group it together, and then that would give you just the little bit rather than printing all that. So 0.75, oops, no, apply that, and then we're going to fill it with the paper again. I'm just going to use the same paper for quickness, but you go into your paper and fill it with a different paper. And then I had something like a shape over here. Now you can either go into the fill button, or if you go into this copy, I'm sure it's actually called transfer properties. If you go into that one, you can just click on that and it'll do the same. So again, an internal offset of 0.075, apply, and then paper, copy that paper. Obviously do all the papers differently, whatever you'd like. And then it comes to the image. So what I would do is open up the file where you store all your images. And mine are all here in digital stamps. You can see I've got thousands of them. So we're going to use the Connie Fong, what I bought yesterday. So look, I use this one again, and it's just a case of bring open your folders, but have it minimised so that you can see your silhouette in the background. Grab the image and just bring it across, and that's your image there. Now what you can do is you can either cut this out or you can get rid of all the white that's around the outside. The easiest way of doing this is select your trace area, highlight it all. Now make sure it's all yellow. If you notice some bits are still black at the bottom, I don't know why, but it doesn't catch it all. Just drag it down until they're all yellow. Uncheck the high pass filter and put the threshold up as much as it'll go without all the outline going yellow. So even though it's really fuzzy, then click trace and detach. It might come up saying not responding. That's normal. It does that quite often. It hasn't this time to prove me wrong. Then just grab your white bit and you can move your white bit off, and then you've got like, I know there's no colour here, but there will be when you put it on your thing. Just now grab it all and group it together. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to go in and draw an oval that's sort of going to cover her, bring her to the front, and then colour that in white, and there you go, you've got your image then. Group them together and that's your image. Okay, so you're going to come over, back over here and resize her down to whatever size you think she's going to look nice, like that. I'm just going to ungroup her. Let me just move this a little bit because I can't grab my group. And then clicking the circle at the back, I'm going to do an offset. Again, 0.075. No, what went wrong there? 0.75. Apply, that's it. And then transfer the properties from here again, and you're going to get your thing. You can do these white if you'd rather the lighter white, save you having to print them all off. It's just when you get to this bit, obviously, because you've got white card, it doesn't really stick out. But you can, use distress inks or whatever to sort that out. But I do like using a darker colour. Okay, so then, like I said, with these, oops, not that one. Let me group that back together. So like I said, with these, I would go in and do an internal offset, colour it white, set it to no cut so that it doesn't cut it out. And then it just saves you a lot of ink printing like that solid panel. If you've got that colour card, then I would use card because it just saves a lot of time. But like I said, I don't have a lot of coloured card anymore. So that's basically it. Then you can go through and I would normally just cut that out with the cameo, and then the rest I'd use dies to embellish it, or go through if you want to do and use all your others. As for sentiments, something like a sentiment down here, an oval down here maybe. And then zoom in. Get your text. I need to hurry up because these videos are only 15 minutes and I've been rambling on long enough. Just type happy birthday or whatever you want, obviously. You can centre it. Then what I would do here is put my fill colour to match that, and and then the line colour also to match that. And then click on this next one, which is the open line style, scroll down and print lines of selected shape. That means it will print the outline. Go in and put it to a no cut. Obviously you don't want it to cut out the letters individually. Colour this white. Pop your sentiment in. Obviously you can change the font if you want. It's not going to change. Oh, I've got 30 seconds left. So you can change the font to whatever you want, resize it, group it together. There you've got sentiment. And then just sit and cut, take it all apart then, cut all the elements out, and then when you've cut them all out, stick them all together, add in your lace, pearls or whatever. And I've done it with 5 seconds to spare. All right, any questions, guys, let me know. Thanks. Bye.